The Christmas light smeared into colored stars as I stepped back from the hearth, where my family posed like a brochure for success. Mom checked the clasp on her pearls. Dad tugged his tie until the knot sat like a medal. My sister Elise smoothed her red dress, while her husband Grant angled himself as if the room were a boardroom and the camera a quarterly report. "Nora, you're in the way," Elise said, shooing me aside with 2 fingers, the same way she'd brush lint from a blazer. "We're going for a professional look." A professional look. My family's favorite spell. It had explained why my projects never made the newsletter, why Dad skipped my name at the club, why I was the one who does computer stuff. Grant had just made VP. Elise's agency had snared 3 colossal clients. Champagne chimed, phones lifted, and the living room became a networking lounge with ornamented walls. The photographer, also professional of course, assembled the shot. Parents in the center, golden couple to the right, my brother Colin and his wife June to the left, their toddlers arranged as charming accessories. Me? Driftwood, urged off-camera to keep the shoreline tidy. My phone buzzed. A message from my publicist. "Congratulations, cover story is live." Cover? My thumb trembled. The photo filled my screen. Me in the server bay at Shield Harbor Security. Headline: "The 30-year-old CEO making cyber defense visible and profitable." The article blazed with numbers my family never asked to hear. Headcount, revenue, contracts that protected hospitals, grids, and people whose names my work would never meet. "Sparkle, everyone?" the photographer called. I looked from their rehearsed smiles to the truth glowing in my palm. Heat rose in my chest, then steadied. I stepped into the shot I wasn't invited to and lifted my phone. "I need to show you something." For a heartbeat, no one moved. Then Elise laughed carefully, as if the sound had to fit a champagne flute. "That's cute, Nora." Grant peered at the headline like a rival earnings call. Dad cleared his throat, aiming for neutral. "Good for you," he said, the way he'd say it to a neighbor's kid who'd won a spelling bee. Mom's eyes lingered on the photo. My hard hat, the tangle of cables like a metal forest, and then she glanced at the tree behind us as if to compare its tidiness with my world's storm. "It's not cute," I said, keeping my voice low. "It's my company. We protect real people from real harm." The photographer coughed. "Should we reset?" Before anyone could choreograph me out again, my phone flashed red. Shield Harbor Critical Alert. A regional hospital's monitoring network was spiking. Malware symptoms, lateral movement, minutes from encrypting patient records. The alert blotted out the room. I stepped away from the hearth, shoes whispering on the runner, and pressed the call icon. "Ops, Nora, talk to me." "Ransomware strain variant," May said, pivoting through diagnostic shares. "We've isolated 2 segments, third is fighting us. Cut the third's uplink. Quarantine by MAC. Preload the clean images. I'm 5 minutes to my terminal." Elise trailed me into the hallway. "Are you seriously working now? People on ventilators might need me working now." I pushed through the side door into the cold, breath turning to fog while the house throbbed with carols. In my car, the dashboard became a desk. I tethered, authenticated, and the world narrowed to graphs, logs, and blinking cursors. "Back channel open," May said, "injecting block list." "Dropping service tokens," I replied, rolling credentials. "On my mark, flush." The infection line faltered, blazed again, then dimmed like a storm losing nerve. 30 seconds later, clean heartbeat signals marched across the screen. The hospital's admin typed, "Bless you." I stared at the words, throat tight. "Team, take the bow. I'll write the incident debrief tonight." When I returned inside, the photographer had finished without me. My family studied their perfect picture. I slid my phone into my pocket and met my father's eyes. "I brought my own light," I said. "I'm done shrinking to fit your frame." A week later, I stood in a hospital conference room, leading a training on breach drills. Nurses practiced lockout steps. A janitor asked sharp questions about phishing. When we wrapped, the admin I'd saved pressed a cup of cocoa into my hand and said, "You kept us open." Applause broke out near the door. My family had slipped in quietly. Mom, Dad, even Elise and Grant. Dad cleared his throat, but this time his voice reached me. Nora, we were wrong. We wanted a picture, not a person. I'm proud of you. Elise hugged me, real, truly. Your coverage landed 2 clients, she whispered, laughing. Outside, air smelled like tin. We posed on the steps, scrubs, suits, my hoodie. No choreography. I lifted my phone and framed us wide, the hospital's windows, the people inside, and my family choosing to belong there with me.